What is going on, everybody? So excited right now. I can't even. Oh, it's going to be hard to read this because I'm so damn excited. People are going to be coming back to this game. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. You know? So we got the PvP, or not the PvP, but the PTR notes for May. I'm just going to go ahead, get right into it, and start reading. So, Spotlight. For this. Oh man, it's bright. For this patch, we have a bit of everything for everyone, with a host of new and exciting PvP focused activities and rewards. Those who have a need to conquer will have plenty to do in Eternum. Likewise, PvE folks won't be left out either. These adventurers can look forward to new quests and the continued rollout of the popular Expedition Mutators feature to additional content. 3v3 player vs player arenas. Step into the arena and test yourself against other combatants. 3v3 arenas are a new small-scale PvP game mode where teams of 3 can face off for fame, glory, and riches. Plus a few unique housing items. Let's go. Each arena match is a best of 5 contest. Fight to be the first team to win 3 rounds and secure the match for your team. Rounds are 2 minutes long, but if the battle lingers, a deadly ring of fire will push players to the center of the arena, forcing combatants to engage or die. That is so awesome. Players level 20 and above can queue for 3v3 arenas by opening the modes menu, allowing on-demand PvP gameplay from anywhere in Eternum. If players need a brief introduction to what the arena is, they can speak to the fight promoter Maximus, Marcellus, and Everfall. Player vs. player reward track. Ooh, what's this? So the PvP rewards track introduces 2 new currencies, PvP experience and Azoth salt. Oh, I remember the salt from the tears of the defeated enemies. So players can earn both of these currency types by engaging in PvP related activities such as war, outpost rush, 3v3 arenas, PvP missions, PvP open world kills, and fort captures. Bonus Azoth salt will also be granted for earning XP while flagged for PvP. Work your way up the rewards track by earning PvP XP. At each of the 3 notches, 3 rewards will be drawn from the pool where you get to select and purchase one of the offered using your Azoth salt. So kind of sounds like almost, similar to the aptitude chest, circle thingy. So when you get to the 3rd notch, where the best rewards can also be found, you will be ready to level up. So I'm just wondering, what else can we possibly buy? Obviously some housing stuff, but I'm really, really curious to see what those rewards are. So I'm going to definitely be in the PTR as soon as it pops, and I'll find out for you guys. But this is so cool. So when you get to the 3rd notch, where the best rewards can also be found, you'll be ready to level up. This will either happen automatically or on purchase of your 3rd reward, or a manually selected option. If choosing to purchase less than the maximum 3 rewards, you will be given some compensatory salt to add to your balance for next time around. With each track rotation, your PvP rank will rise by 1. Hitting rank milestones will see more exclusive reward content unlocked, as well as granting you achievements and titles. So you better get PvPing. Yes, sir. Combat tuning. So in this PTR cycle, we'll be trying out a handful of combat changes in a few different areas. We're updating equipment load bonuses to bring heavy armor healers in line. How dare they do yard work? Okay, so we're updating equip load bonuses to bring heavy armor healers in line with other builds, adding a small delay to stamina regen after a dodge, and finally making some sweeping changes to bow movement and firing options with the aim of smoothing out the gameplay experience. Check out the full notes to see all the specifics for these changes and more. I thought these were the full notes. Where are the full notes at? Oh, okay, it must be, yep, it's this stuff. Okay, here we go. This is a lot of stuff. All right, so new expedition. So wait a second, the heavy armor, are they saying that to bring them in line with other builds, they're gonna nerf it or buff it? Sounds like a nerf. But is that just for healers or everybody in heavy armor? I don't know, that's weird. So I guess we'll find out if I keep reading. New expedition mutators. Return to the depths and... oh yeah, they're going to do depths now. That's awesome. Return to the depths and face a brand new challenge for endgame rewards. Thorpe is going to hit freaking hard. The Depths is now part of the weekly Expedition Mutator rotation. In addition, 3 new mutation types have been added to the pool for a total of 27 new combinations. So we've got Overgrown, which focuses on nature damage and resistance. Overgrown adds effects like Toxic, a pool which tracks down players, and Compost, which turns trash into healing areas for their allies. Oh, so when you kill something, they're going to start healing everybody that's in there. Okay, that's kind of cool. Barbaric focuses on physical damage, adds Berserk, an Enrage effect, and Shattering, which deals stamina damage. And Fiendish. Curses focus on the Nocturnal. Fiendish adds Weary, which will weaken players with a Rend and make them vulnerable with a Slow, and Blood Offering, which stacks damage over time. Varangian Knights Episode 2. Continue the story of the Varangian Knights and their conquest for power. Players will encounter 4 new Varangian enemies in this episode: the Crusher, Spearman, Hound, and Mage. The Episode 2 starting quest is granted by Abigail Rose just outside a new Varangian camp, or Varangian? I don't know. At Sorcerer's Delve in Everfall. Recommended for players level 25 to 30. Player selected pronouns. The player's selected pronoun will now be reflected in chat. For instance, when using an emote, the preferred pronoun will be considered and displayed. Since the selected pronoun is now used game-wide, we have also relocated the selection setting to the bio screen for higher menu visibility. Somebody let me know what they're talking about here, because I don't know. But that's not surprising. Never claimed to be a smart man. Combat and AI. So some general updates here. So updated the Focus 300 attribute to no longer grant mana regeneration. Instead, it grants a flat 8 mana per second for the duration of the effect. Increase the diminishing returns on subsequent applications of stuns and roots. Duration reduction per application increased from 20% to 50% per application. Max reduction increased from 80% to 100%. Reduce the physical armor increase from the 200 Constitution attribute bonus from 20% down to 10%. Updated the 200 Constitution attribute bonus tooltip to indicate that the bonus is physical armor specifically. Functionality has not been changed, only added text for additional clarity. Added a 1-second delay to stamina regen after a dodge. This delay matches the functionality of the stamina regen delay that triggers after releasing block. Remove collision when a player is in the death's door down state. Updated various AoE weapon ability tooltips to increase radius information. I swear I thought it was going to say updated various AoE like healing circles to change the color if they're friendly, which, by the way, you guys really need to add that. Updated various weapon ability tooltips to include staggers and knockdown effects. Fix an issue where ranged weapons did not display ammo type and count correctly while obstructed. Reduce the stamina damage increase from the 150 strength attribute bonus from 50% to 25%. Also limited the ATB to only apply to light attacks. Oh, the attribute bonus? Only to apply to light attacks. Reduce stamina damage increase from the 150 strength attribute bonus from 50% to 25%, and limited the bonus to just light attacks and not heavies. Updated equip load healing bonus to be multiplicative. Now, all of the healing bonuses from equip load, positive or negative, will be added on after all other calculations have been made, meaning it will have a larger and more consistent impact on healing. Holy crap, so light healing is going to be crazy. So removed medium equipment load healing bonus and increased the reduction to, removed medium equip load healing bonus and increased the reduction to healing in heavy equipment load. So they removed the medium equipment load healing bonus and increase the reduction to healing in heavy equipment load. So healing bonuses per equip load are now light is plus 30%, medium is just 0, and heavy is minus 30%. So they're really trying everything they can to get rid of those heavy healers. Well, I play light now, so that's okay. So weapon coatings are Weapon coatings are no longer removed from weapons when gathering resources, so that's great. Melee attack homing. Update to homing on primary attacks for melee weapons. They should now be able to hit moving targets more consistently. Fix an issue that caused projectiles being shot while in free camera to erroneously calculate projectile direction. Fix an issue where attacks would activate unintentionally after exiting turrets and other interactable actions. Fix issue that made it so pressing block or aim would not exit all abilities that have any sort of persistent state, example aiming. Now, when in a magic aiming state, entombed, sticky bomb, aim, etc. If block and aim are bound to separate keys, players will be able to press either to exit the state. Fix a number of potential desyncs between client and server. Fix a positional desync for players using spear light attacks, skewer, or vault kick while moving the camera. Fix a positional desync for players using Warhammer light attacks while moving the camera. Fix a positional desync for players using Great Axe light attacks while moving the camera. Fix a positional desync for players using heavy hatchet attacks while moving the camera. Fix a positional desync for players using rapier light and heavy attacks while moving the camera. And last, fix a positional desync for players using sword, light, and heavy attacks while moving the camera. So some general AI fixes. AI will no longer randomly disappear when running away from a player. This happened on extremely rare occurrences. Fix a bug where the enemy Banes in 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢 would attack and chase players for very long distances. Fix a rare issue that could cause AI to die when rooted during their retreat sequence. Fix a bug where the enemies summoned by other players, example wolf summoned by an alpha wolf, would have a delay before they would attack. Fix an issue causing Lost Brute-based characters to sometimes walk in a slow motion while patrolling. Fix an issue causing the ladle villagers from not dealing damage with their charge attack. Fix an issue causing the shovel villagers from not dealing damage with their ground pound attack. Fix an issue that would allow Stanley the rabbit to wander away from players while they are interacting with him. 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢's fight will no longer reset when players stand on the edge of the arena. Reduce the vision distance of corruption tendrils in breach events to better fit the size of the event and allow players to disengage from the fight at a shorter distance. Oh, thank God. Fix an issue that caused lion-based characters to stall if the blunderbuss's claw shot attack is used to initiate combat with the creature. Fix an issue that prevented players at far distances from building threat on AI characters. Fix an issue preventing some ranged AI characters from approaching and engaging the player from extremely long ranges. Fix a visual issue with the Varangian Mage, the Withered Swarmancer, the Varangian Knight, and Plague Huntress. So some Expedition AI changes. So general changes, fix an issue allowing certain Expedition bosses to improperly regenerate their health after a player is put into death's door. Fix an issue where Expedition bosses could sometimes target players outside their arena. Tempest Heart, specifically, they fix an issue that caused 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢 Corruption Shot, or Scylla's boyfriend's Corruption Shot, to sometime hit players positioned to his side. That must be that nasty one-shot ability. Holy crap, that thing is bad. Bad to the bone. Rework 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙢's Corruption Flame and Corruption Core abilities. The Corruption Core will now spawn 3 seconds after a Corruption Flame happens, which should reliably ensure that cores do not overlap with flames. Oh, it's not supposed to do that. Okay. So that's a big nerf. That's going to help us a lot. Because sometimes, you know, when the flames are up and you've got that Corruption Core, apparently it's not an orb, it's a Corruption Core, you either have to sometimes sacrifice your health and just have everybody take that hit, or, you know, sacrifice that core. Everybody's going to take a stack, but at least you don't get hit with the flames. It's like a, you know, double whammy. Fix an issue that would cause Isabella to sometimes not face the person she was aiming at. Dynasty Shipyard. So Empress Zhao, fix an issue that could cause her Corruption Wave spell to hit outside of the intended area. Fix an issue that could cause her Corruption Wave spell to hit behind her. Remove the damage from the initial summoning of her Dragon Breath spell. This will now only impact the area that is visually breathed on by the dragon. Reduce the damage of her Pearl Pedestal Toss. Yeah, that thing hurts too. Fix an inconsistency with the leashing behavior of Commander Chen and the 2 maidens standing with him. Okay. And the AI guards will now utilize new animations. So I'm not sure what leashing behavior they're talking about. You know, just, I'm not sure what that is. That's the fight where you have the 2 chicks, you know, you bring them down the stairs and then fight Commander separately, I believe. So the depths, they fix an issue that causes the depths Archdeacon encounter to abruptly despawn hounds on a player entering death's door. Fix an issue that could cause Archdeacon 𝙥𝙤𝙢𝙢 and other corrupted priests rolling corruption spell to kill players in death's door. Fix several nav mesh spots in Thorpe's arena, and fix several nav mesh spots in Archdeacon's arena. And if you guys know what nav mesh spots are, let me know, because that's interesting. Lazarus Instrumentality. Fix an issue causing Chartist to sometimes target the same player repeatedly with his beam attack. Isn't that supposed to happen? Let me know what you guys think of that too. Jeez. Mutators. Fix issue where the blood offering mutator effects were ticking an inconsistent amount of times. It should consistently tick 3 times now. Reduce the slow effect from the weary mutator effect from 50% to 30%. And fixed an issue where player statuses were modifying the damage dealt from the blood offering mutation. Game modes. Invasions. Boss AI and invasions are no longer impacted by gravity well. Oh man, that sucks. Outpost Rush. So Outpost Rush consumables now have a max stack size of 100. It was only 10. Increase the quantity of items granted from gathering trees, ore, and rawhide resources. Increase the speed at which items are gathered by 30%. So they're really trying to get us to do more of the PvE stuff, I guess. Added armories to each fort spawn. Tuned capture point timing. Minimum time is now 10 seconds. It was 30 seconds. And each player reduces the time to capture by 10 seconds. I wonder if there's a cap on that. Like, after 5 players, does it stop going faster? Like, who knows? Reduce the skinning experience granted by Outpost Rush Wolves. Players can now shoot projectiles through their own spawn doors. And players now get credit for kills inflicted by damage over time attacks. The Outpost Rush resource counter will now correctly reset after the match is completed. War. They reworked several faction control point bonuses to provide more relevant bonuses. For example, Fort Reekwater now grants 5% bonus in PvP experience, and speculative fix for the fort area not being restricted properly during some wars. So we've got some perk changes, or are these new perks? Nope, these are changes. Okay. So critical retribution. Fix an issue where the tooltip count cooldown were not showing the accurate value. Efficient burnout. Fix an issue where the buff applied by this perk was using debug text. Elemental attunement. Fix an issue where this perk was not triggering off all abilities. Elemental attunement, again, updated the tooltip to add clarification as to why it may not work off certain abilities. Elemental damage gems. Fix an issue that caused certain abilities to have their total damage lowered when these gems were equipped. Wow. Fix an issue that caused certain abilities to have their total damage lowered when these gems were equipped. That is huge. That is a huge change. Oh, freedom fixes. Fix an issue where this perk was not specifying that it affected root. Remove silence from the tooltip. Oh my god, they only changed the tooltips. Remove silence from the tooltip as the only silence currently present in the game are AoEs and their duration cannot be modified. Gathering efficiency. Increase effectiveness of the perk from 5% to 20, 25 to 100. And updated tooltips to indicate that the speed increase is a % of the base speed rather than total. So somebody asked me what actually, what gathering efficiency actually was, and it looks like it's just the gathering speed. Insatiable gravity well. Fix an issue where this perk was triggering 2 instances of damage. Another insatiable gravity well. Reduce the damage of the burst from 125% down to 100%, and reduce the lifesteal amount from 20 to 50% based on gear score to 15 to 35% based on gear score. Insatiable gravity well. Reduce block stamina damage of the secondary burst player to prevent the double trigger of the effect from being too powerful against blocking players. Keen Vault Kick. Fix an issue that allowed Vault Kick to apply the buff associated with this perk when the perk was not equipped. Mortal Empowerment. Fix an issue where the player could bring the Empower bonus into other game modes. Nullifying Oblivion. Fix an issue where this perk would remove effects from persistent AoEs. Oh, fix an issue where this perk would remove effects from persistent AoEs. Are they talking about the healing circles? Is that getting fixed? Fixed an issue where this perk would remove effects from persistent AoEs. What is a persistent AoE? I mean, persistent means it keeps going, you're persistent. I don't know what that means. Is that a persistent AoEs? AoEs that don't go away? Like, there are none. I don't know. Let's see what you guys think on that one too. So play crits, fix a spelling error in the description. Yeah. Play crits, fix an issue where this perk's description as it appears in the trading post. Fix an issue with this perk's description as it appears in the trading post. Okay. Fix an issue where this perk was only applying from random crits and not from headshots or backstabs. Plague Strikes, fix a spelling error in the description. Pylon Burst, fix an issue where the AoE burst from this perk could not be blocked. And Trenchant Wren, fix an issue where the debuff applied was incorrectly labeled as Frost Attunement. Yeah, that is definitely incorrect. Consumables, fix an issue where a debug string was present in the Ancient Ward Potion status effect tooltips, and fix an issue where Cleansing Elixir was not properly removing certain status effects applied by Ice Gauntlet and Fire Staff abilities. Dodges, roots, and slows. Dodging is now allowed while rooted. The player will not move while rooted, but they will have invulnerability frames. Ooh, so we still get the iframes. Being slowed will now affect the movement of your dodge. If you are slowed and you dodge, you will now move less distance based on the power of the slow. Ice Shower, Ice Storm, and Gravity Well no longer disable dodging. Okay. There you go. That's going to be a good change. Holy moly. Weapons, Blunderbuss adjusted the dodge buffer window for the ADS firing animation to be more consistent with other firing animations. Blunderbuss charges now show correctly when firing while obstructed and returns to their normal reticle. Fixed an issue where the player could become unresponsive if they tried to aim and go prone at the same time with a blunderbuss in hand. Azoth Bomb, fix a typo in the ability description. Barb Netting, the ability's visuals and description have been updated to make it clear that the debuff being applied is bleeding and not poison. Freedom, this upgrade's speed bonus no longer decays over time. Its duration was reduced from 3 seconds to 2 seconds to compensate. Future Planning, this passive now triggers per mortar charge shot instead of on activation. Mortar Charge, fix an issue where this ability was incrementing the Blood Offering curse and mutators too many times in a single use. Mortar Charge, fix an issue where the VFX from the skill could disappear prematurely. Splitting Grenade, fix an issue which caused a desync when moving immediately after using the ability. And another Splitting Grenade fix an issue where critical hits from this ability would not deal additional damage. Bow, reduced recovery on basic attacks. So when you do a basic attack, you're going to get right back into the next attack quicker. Fixed ability cancels on basic attacks. Increased projectile radius on all attacks except penetrating shot. So they're making it easier to hit attacks except for penetrating shot. Because if they increase the projectile radius, so the projectile would be the bow or the arrow, the radius is half the distance of the diameter. So just, I guess basically the diameter. So it's going to make it a little bit thicker so that it hits easier, maybe. Added cancel windows to weapon readying animations. Players can now sprint cancel when lowering the weapon. Added missing cancel buffers when lowering the weapon. Poison Shot and Penetrating Shot now use the same fire/cancel inputs as Rain of Arrows. Reduced hipfire startup and recovery and increased move speed while hip firing from 1.65 to 2.25. Not even close to double. Okay. Reduced hit fire multiplier from 0.8 down to 0.6. Reduced charge shot damage multiplier from 1.7 to 1.5. Reduce charge time and recovery for charge shots, so that is a buff. And reduce the power of the bow's aim true passive from 30% down to 10%. So they've added some nerfs and some buffs, I guess. Interesting stuff. Fire Staff Burnout. Fix an issue which caused a desync when moving immediately after using the ability. 2 meteor shower things that change. Increase casing range from 15 meters to 20 meters. So you can shoot, or you can put down your meteor shower further away, so that's a buff. And increase the damage from 20 to 25% weapon damage. That's a pretty big buff right there. So they buff the damage, buff the range of meteor shower. And Judgment of Helios increase the damage from 25% to 30%, so another pretty big buff. And Pillar of Fire, this ability now allows movement during casting animation. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So the Fire Staff got a big buff. So they fixed the burnout desync. They increased the range of your meteor shower and increased the damage. And increase the damage from Judgment of Helios. And Pillar of Fire, you can now move while you're casting it, I guess. So you're not stuck there in one spot. You're able to be more mobile. So those are, the fire staff got some buffs all around. Holy crap. Great Axe. Let's see some nerfs here. Whirlwind, increased base movement speed while spinning from 3 to 3.5. Gusting Winds, increased speed bonus from 50% to 100%, so twice the speed. Fix an issue where the upgrade names Gusting Winds, speed upgrade, and Unending Winds, more spins, were swapped. Oh, Gusting Winds must be a Whirlwind perk. I didn't know that. I don't use Whirlwind because it's terrible. Now, maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll have to check it out. Hatchet, Berserking Purge. Fix an issue where this upgrade would not properly remove stuns if used too soon after the stun was applied. Ice Gauntlet, here we go. Ice Storm. Fixed an issue that caused this ability to go on cooldown when the spell was interrupted during aim mode. Oh, I hate that with all weapons. If you can't get the attack off, don't give us the cooldown. We didn't get to use it. There's a bunch of abilities that have this problem. Ice Pylon, damage increase from 50% to 75% weapon damage. They want us to start using Ice Pylon, guys. Look at that. They increase the damage. They increase the health from 12 to 20%. And they also updated the tooltip to include the cooldown on the reapplication of the root effect. So Ice Pylon got a big buff. And Ice Storm got a big buff. So if it gets canceled or interrupted, you get to cast it again. So some buffs for the Ice Gauntlet, buffs for the Fire Staff. Light Staff, here we go. Fix an issue with light attacks canceling healing target when Sticky Lock is enabled. I don't know what that means. Fix an issue with light attacks canceling healing target? What does that mean? Light attacks would cancel healing your target when Sticky Lock is enabled. Okay, well, it didn't bother me, so whatever. Fix an issue that caused targeted healing to attempt to lock onto targets beyond the range of healing spells. Yes, that's good. That's good. Cleaned up animations and fixed missing visuals and sounds when self-healing. Targeted heals. These abilities now allow movement while casting. Light's Embrace, increase cast time to 1 second or increase cast time by 1 second. Light's Embrace, reduced bonus healing per buff from 30% to 15%. Oh, you know why they did this? They did both of these right here because OPR and heavy healers. If you're a heavy healer, which I was for a long time, you would just go to OPR, have 4 or 5 guys trying to kill you, and all you had to do was dodge. All you needed was to get 1 dodge off, and then you could immediately cast Light's Embrace on yourself while in your sacred ground, and you'll go from 0% to 100% like that. So they increased the cast time of it so that we can get interrupted easier, or it just takes a little bit longer. And they also reduced the bonus by 50%. I mean, they cut it in half, 30% down to 15%. So that's huge. Big nerf to the life staff. But I don't use Light's Embrace anymore, so that's okay. Well, I don't use it in dungeons anymore, unless there's certain. Anyway, moving on. Musket. Fixed a bug where impact effects for the musket may have played even if the server invalidated a client's shot. Hit Your Mark passive. Updated the description to clarify that this passive only works for standard musket shots and not for overloaded shots like Power Shot and Powder Burn. Marksman passive. Fix an issue where overloaded shots would not count towards the number of consecutive hits. Shooter stance. Fix an issue where the musket would fire unintentionally in shooter stance with the tactical reload passive. Sticky bomb. Fix an issue where the bomb would disappear without detonating when it attached to objects that were destroyed. Sticky bomb. Fix issue where the musket was not being removed from the player's hand to remote clients while holding a sticky bomb. Fix issue where the musket was not being removed from the player's hand for remote clients while holding a sticky bomb. Not sure what that is either. Let me know if you guys know what they're talking about. Another powder burn thing. Fix an issue where attempting to fire powder burn while prone would fire power shot instead. Trap. Cleaned up several visual aspects for better readability and effect matching. Increased the model size of traps in order to make them more visible and to match the size of the trigger volume. Updated animation timing to match trap appearance and adjusted projectile arc and speed to make throwing feel smoother and to make the trap land closer to the reticle position. So we've got some more velocity on those traps. Rapier, Tondo, increased bleed damage from 7% to 10% weapon damage per tick, and Repost, fix an issue where reposts could be triggered by abilities from players that had AoE taunts active. Spear, deadly consistency, fix an issue where perks that deal extra damage like Keenly Jagged and Chain could reset the hit count for this passive. Increased hit shape sizes for basic attacks, Skewer, Perforate, and Coup de Grace. Increased homing on Coup de Grace. So coup de grace is the part where you stab him on the ground, right? And sometimes you would go to do that, but it wouldn't home in on the target and you would just hit the ground. So they're making that a little more consistent with hitting it, I guess. Or I could be wrong about coup de grace or coup de grace. Sword and Shield, Leaping Strike, fix an issue where this ability was triggering 2 stacks of the Blood Offering Mutator effect. Void Gauntlet, Refreshing Frailty, added a 5-hit cap per attack on cooldown reduction. Refreshing Precision, reduced cooldown reduction from 10% to 5% and added a 5-hit cap per attack on cooldown reduction. Void Blade, reduced the block stamina damage multiplier from Void Blade's heavy attack from 2 down to 1.5 and increased Scream root duration from 1 second to 2 seconds. Awesome. Well, some people aren't going to be happy about that, but I am. Warhammer Path of Destiny, fixed issue where crits were not dealing increased damage, reduced damage of non-crits from 110% to 100% to account for additional damage from crits. Economy and progression, notable fixes. So Barbarian Scarf no longer clips with nude chest. Fix a visual issue with the cape of the Stormbound apparel. Also, they fixed the visual issues with all the different skins. That's good. So I'm just going to not say fix a visual issue with the, and I'm just going to say the second part, okay? So the Engineer Set apparel, the Heavy Smile apparel, Isabella's chestplate, Jadeite Dragon, Knight of Devotion, Mixer Set, Moonborn apparel, Nishatune's breastplate, Obelisk Priest robe, Red Ripping Hood, Reinforced Shatterer's Heavy Gauntlets of the Century, Skinner shirt, Starbound, Stormbound, Varangian chestplate, Winter Wanderer's cloak, and added missing cores for the Depths Ice Gauntlet and Void Gauntlets. Fixed the visual effects on the Draconian Edge with gems applied. Fixed the VFX on the Twin Beast with gems applied. Fixed Gleaming Pitch Great Axe VFX. Fix an issue where the player would unintentionally spin after leaving the romantic swooning crouch interaction. Updated the punching animation to have footsteps. Who does these things? That's so funny. Thank God we're going to have footsteps now when we're punching. Fix an issue where the player's leg would jitter during the tree pose emote. Fix an issue where the player's ankle would bend incorrectly during the ballerina emote. Oh my God, I got to tell you guys a quick story. Bend incorrectly at the ankle. So me and my daughter and my son, we were playing Phasmophobia, and my daughter loves her VR, and she's playing with VR. And when you play with VR at that time, it was so funny. In game, her hands and arms were like all messed up like this. It was crazy. It just reminded me of that. It was so funny. I wish I would have got that on recording. So anyway, fix an issue where the player's ankle would bend incorrectly during the ballerina emote. Fix the rotation of the Fire's Breath fire staff so that it's facing the correct orientation. Gear and items. So they fixed an issue with the Blackguard's kite shield where portions of its data were for a round shield. Fix an issue where the blunderbuss last argument was incorrectly labeled as a musket. So here's some world experience notable fixes. Fix a visual pop on Ghost Ship. Don't know what that means. Updated the Ghost Ship to have sound effects when it can be seen in the distance. Fix an issue with the Ancient Door sometimes being invisible in Skyview Repose. Fix an issue where unintentional VFX were displaying at the feet of enemies which were hit. Address an issue where players were able to stack housing furniture much taller than their property limits in the First Light settlements. Updated sound effects to play an appropriate sound when AI are mining and chopping wood. Expeditions, so almost done. So we've got Tempest Heart changes. Updated an audio pass for the music within the Tempest Heart Expedition. Updated Isabella's voice over to sound better within the dungeon's acoustics. Updated Nishatune's last VO line to play smoothly when players have defeated him. Moose. Big Daddy Moose. I wonder if they're gonna change whatever you say 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢 saying, you know. Updated 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢's corrupted corruption. That's definitely redundant there. Updated 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙢's corrupted corruption sound effects to better suit the experience. Fixed collision issues in the corrupted graveyard that players were getting stuck in. Fixed collision issues in the Sea of Corruption that players were getting stuck in. Fixed additional collision within Isabella's boss fight arena. Fixed additional collision within 𝙏𝙤𝙢𝙢's boss fight arena. Remove some collision that allowed players to climb out of a tendril of corruption. And updated key lighting within the Basilica so that lower spec PCs still received casted shadows. Dynasty Shipyard, players can no longer circumvent the gate entrance to get into Isabella's fight space. Garden of Genesis, fix an issue where players could move out of bounds. Remove collision on object that allowed for healing outside of the Greenskeeper arena. And adds spawn during the Caretaker encounter should now properly die when the Caretaker dies. Oh, that's great. Lazarus Instrumentality, blocked off exploit path allowing player to safely heal near Chartis's arena. Fixed an issue that was causing Tolos and Astros to respawn after the expedition was completed. Fixed a collision on a ledge that allowed players to climb up onto an unintended area, and made lighting adjustments to minimize flashing lights in certain areas. Starstone Burrows, fixed collision where players were getting stuck. Quest, fix an issue where the wrong VO line for Yona Alazar's quest that the Alliance would play, and they also fixed blank spaces in formatting of quests and journal text for Master of the Tempest. UX, UI, and social. Oh, can someone tell me what UX means? So UI is user interface. UX would be user experience. Notable fixes. Fix an issue where main menu lost sound effects after entering the game and exiting back into the main menu. Fix an issue where the player could remain crouched or prone while moving with the inventory open. Fix an issue with camping available notifications overlapping. Fix solid black background on icons. Fix issue where the reward container UI would show that you had gained expertise for a 600 gear score item when you are already at 600 expertise. Fix an issue where duplicate chain lightning perks were appearing in the trading post perk selection list. Quality of life. Okay, let's go. We now show an error message when attempting to pick up items when the character inventory is already at maximum item limit. Added the ability to change skills and spend skill points based on whether the player is in or out of combat instead of blocking when the player had an ability on cooldown. Added a tooltip to explain how to increase mana regen on the attribute menu. Added new visuals to the ultimate ability in the weapon mastery screen to clarify that 10 perk points were needed to unlock it. Added the ability to rotate the camera with the map open by holding the right mouse button. Added the mutator difficulty level to always be shown on the HUD for players and Twitch viewers. The daily mission bonus UI should now always update properly even if you have the faction mission window open when it resets. Disabled opening reward containers if your inventory is full. The left side list no longer resets after crafting an item. This should help when choosing to craft again. Improved player feedback when choosing between different weapon abilities. Improved player feedback when choosing between different weapon abilities. Improved player feedback. What the heck is that? Maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know what any of this stuff means really. Added notifications and effects to celebrate salvaging items. What? Added notifications and effects to celebrate salvaging items, but salvaging items sucks. What? I don't get it. We now hide trading post contracts for invalid items in the search browser. Changing blunderbuss damage to reflect per pellet damage will now show base damage times 6. Fixed a translation issue with the currency and coin descriptions, with the manage army text and wars and invasions of the map UI, with the manage objectives text with the map filters UI, with the modes text after pressing the escape key, with the defiled rabbit's foot, with the fortune teller's tent and full moon marquee tent skins, with the healing and damage or description for the reliquary, with the hidden stash item, with the passive regeneration ability, with the physical aversion perks description, with the syndicate faction mission boards, the Tempest Heart mutation UI, the experience bar UI, the storage UI. Gleaming and waxen items are now properly localized. The view expedition button found on the map is now properly localized. And the description for the expedition mutation of Arboreal is now properly localized. Audio. Fixed several VO issues impacting the following NPCs: Architect Nali, Barkeep Celia Polly, Evelyn Van Heck, Father Russo, Samuel Bloodgood, and the Heretic. Fix mismatch French VO and subtitles for Hunter Samuel Worthington Bloodgood III. Updated Isabella's localization VO that triggers prior to the final encounter to be easier to hear. Fix major portal and minor hive spawning sounds. Updated the scrying table decor item to play sound effects when a player interacts with it. Updated the Earth Shell Turtle S sound effects to match other magical creatures in volume. Updated the Blunderbuss Netshot and Clawshot abilities to not have a ringing metallic sound. Updated the Shattered Bleed sound effects to be easier for players to hear. Added an ambient sound effects to play when players are low health. Resolved an issue where boss music would not continue playing after a player was revived. However, when a player respawns after death's door, boss music will no longer continue to play in order to avoid the music from restarting from the very beginning. Updated the distance from which players can hear elk breathing and added sound effects to the armillary dial housing item. Thanks for your support. We will see you in Eternum. And they added some little flair here. That's cool. So, what do you guys think? I think these are some amazing changes. Holy crap. I know I'm always positive. There's still, plenty of things that need to be fixed. Do not get me wrong. I know this game has a lot of problems, but just hear me out. I think it's getting much better. And I mean, just this right here, guys. The 3v3 player versus player arenas, the reward track. I mean, this alone is going to be freaking amazing. We're going to have extra stuff to do. We're going to have a whole progression system with the PvP and ranking, and it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know your guys' thoughts, your feelings. Like always, just talk to me. I love talking to you guys, and I want to know what you think about this update. I'm super excited, and you bet your butt I'm going to be in the PTR as soon as it launches. Don't tell my boss. I hope they're not watching, but I'm probably going to call off of work and get some action in there. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you think. Have a great day, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye, guys.